Hey, Nathan, mate. How's the fatigue among the bowling group at the moment? I know you guys went the distance in Sydney, and you've obviously been in quarantine for a while. How's everyone feeling, and with the short turnaround?
Yeah, no, it's a good point. Firstly, I think it's out of 99 Test matches, it's the first time I've ever done an ice bath after a game. So everyone's doing what they can do. It's very professional athletes throughout the team, especially with the fast bowlers. So they're doing everything that they can to make sure that they're 100% ready to go come Friday.
Any more questions there, guys? Obviously, everyone's just Josh McLean.
Hi, Nate. Will Pucovski, obviously hoping that he'll get up and get himself right to play.
Yeah, 100%. I don't really know what the update is with Will. I know that talking to Will throughout last Test match and how much he's been loving his little taste of Test cricket, I know that he'll be doing everything in his power that he's right to go and that he can walk out there with Davey on Friday morning, hopefully.
Raj.
Thanks, Cole. Hi, Nathan. It looks like India is going to be missing out on Jasprit Bumrah and also Ravindra Jadeja. Do you expect them to show up, sort of fight which we saw in SAG at the Gabba as well? Because given Australia's record, which is quite impressive, it looks like it's advantage Australia.
I wouldn't say that. I think you look at the class throughout the whole Indian squad. Yes, they may be missing a couple of big players for them, but they've got a very talented and very deep squad that they can pick from. So, but to be honest with you, we just got to worry about our preparation. We can't look too far what they're doing, or how they're preparing, or who might be playing. It's just about, for us right now, where we are. It's about making sure that we're controlling what we can control, and that's purely our preparation and making sure that firstly our recovery is right on key, and then our plans are as bowlers that we're very, very well suited to the Gabba. So hopefully that we can put them into play nice and early when we get the ball in hand.
Adam Collins. You there, Adam? We'll jump to Dan Brettig and come back to Adam.
G'day, Nathan. Got a question about, I suppose, the precedent that was set at the SCG with Siraj, calling out abuse from the crowd. I know that you and others in the Australian team have faced abuse in the past, may not have been of a racial nature, but would you be comfortable in future if you're on the boundary and getting, abuse to sort of stop play and say, look, I'm not prepared to cop this?
Yeah, it's a very interesting one, and for me, there's no room for any racial or any abuse in any type. I know people think they're being funny, but it can affect people in different ways. So yeah, it's an interesting one. But for me, cricket's a sport for all, and there's no room for it at all. So I think it's quite disgusting, to be honest with you. Yes, I've been on the other end of it, copping abuse, whether that's in England or New Zealand or South Africa or wherever it may be. But there's no room for it. So I think you got to try, as a player, you got to try your best to try and block it out. But if it's time's right to calling the match officials, but we've got a lot of security around the ground these days, so hopefully that they can do their job, and if there's anyone doing that they can be removed, because there's absolutely no place for it.
You have in the past, obviously, I suppose the team's attitude has been to a large extent, I guess, cop it on the chin, or try to ignore it. Do you think that precedent, though, that Siraj has set might lead to a change where a few more players do what he did?
Yeah, well may do. It's totally going to be up to that player and how that's been, how they have been affected. I just really hope that in a whole world society that we get over it, then we can just come and people can come and watch us play cricket and players not go to work and be worried about getting abused or racially abused or whatever it may be. As I said, cricket's a sport for all, so it really comes down to the player and how they've been affected.
Thanks, Nathan.
We'll go back to Adam Collins.
G'day, Nath. Obviously, a huge test match for the team, but for you individually, 100th test match on the cusp of 400 test wickets. I know historically you've been reluctant to talk about yourself, but given these milestones, have you had a chance just to reflect on what a significant achievement this is and your thoughts on being one of the very few men to play 100 test matches for Australia?
Yeah, it's a good one, Colo. I have had the chance to reflect on it because when I first made my test debut, I thought, gee, how amazing this, and I was very grateful and very humble to play one test for Australia. But after completing my 99th one last week, just a couple of days ago, and looking forward to Friday, it's been very exciting because I look at the 12 other guys who have played cricket for over 100 test matches of cricket for Australia, and they're pure legends in my eyes, not just for Cricket Australia, but all around the world. And I'm going to pinch myself each and every day to see my name up against those fellas and be the 13th player to do so. So it's pretty amazing. I've tried it in the past. I've tried not to look too far ahead, but yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one, and just the thought about being able to play 100 test matches for Australia is very humbling, and I'm really hoping that we can go out there and play the positive brand of cricket that we can play, that we know we can play, and that we can walk away with the series win.
You've had some pretty pronounced ups and downs through the course of your career. Do you think it's almost fitting that you're walking out for your 100th test match just a few days after a test match where it hasn't quite gone your way, and an opportunity to really assert yourself in, as I say, like perhaps one of the biggest test matches you played in?
Yeah, you can say that. I think it's been this test series against India has been amazing, to be honest. You look the way we won in Adelaide, then the way India won, then obviously a draw. It's going up and down, back and forth. So that's the beauty of Test match cricket, and I've been very grateful to play in some amazing Test matches. Been on the losing end a few times, which is provided some great learning curves for us, and even last week provided some really good learning curve for the Australian cricket side and me personally as well. So, but now we get this opportunity to come out here and put into play what we've learnt over the last little while, and me personally over the last 99 test matches. I've obviously learnt so much, and I've grown in confidence quite a fair bit. So hopefully we can put it all in play come Friday.
Thanks, mate.
We'll go to 7 News Sydney.
Hey Nathan, Eamon Tiernan here, mate. Obviously Smudge has had a couple of days in the headlines. Have you had a chance to have a chat to him, and how's he going?
Yeah. I've obviously had a chance to chat with him. We're in a bubble together, so see him every day. But yeah, I'm really disappointed with the way everyone's jumped on the back of him. He's played close to 80 odd test matches or whatnot, and I think he's done that every test match he's ever done. And to be honest, I've done it every test match as well. There's nothing wrong with it. Smithy loves batting. We all know that, and even know that we weren't batting in the rest of the remaining of that test match. He's still thinking about batting, and he does it to help me as well. He's looking about where I should look to pitch the ball, what pace I need to bowl on that wicket. So it's all about conversation. So yeah, he's going okay. He's got all my support and everyone's support here in the Australian change room. But yeah, we're just really disappointed with everyone coming out and saying the things about Smithy, because it's none of it's true. So, but it is what it is.
We'll go to Rob Forsyth.
Hey Nathan, just another one on the milestone. You mentioned learning so much. If you had a chance to speak to yourself before making your test debut to go back in time, what advice would you give? And I suppose just looking back over the journey, what sort of stands out in terms of some of the good moments and some of the challenges?
What advice? I'd probably not look too far ahead and just try and take it each and every day and do it with a smile on your face. I think that's Mike Hussey gave me that piece of advice when before I bowled my first ball in Test cricket. He just said, come up and play with a smile on your face and you'll hopefully relax a little bit. So, I reckon that's one big thing, but also what Punter said in my first game as well was just back your skill. So that's what I'd say again if I had the chance. But there's been some highs and some lows. Personally, you look at the Adelaide Test match after the passing of Phil Hughes against India in 2014. That's probably up there with one of the biggest highs of my career. But then you look at Edgbaston, and that's another amazing high. Then you go to Leeds, which is you come down the other end of the ladder. But then a week later you're at Manchester as well. So it goes. The amazing thing about Test cricket, it's an amazing ride. There's a lot of ups and downs, but I know when I finish my career, I'll be able to sit there with a smile on my face and say I gave it my all. But this is my 100th, and I'm far from being done in my eyes. I'm still hungrier than ever. I want to go out there and play as much cricket as I can for Australia, and keep playing my role, and hopefully winning a lot of Test series for Australia.
And if I could just ask a quick one on bubble life, has it almost drained, I suppose, you or some of the guys more than you thought it might? Like, you look at, I suppose, something like the Big Bash coming up. Are you still thinking you might play that, or do you think you'll need a break after this? And I suppose beyond that, are you a bit worried about what the South Africa tour will look like in terms of, how restrictive and quarantine and coming back and all that?
To be honest with you, mate, I'm purely concentrating on this game and seeing it is such a big milestone for me personally. I'm not trying to look too far ahead at all. I'm just really trying to take all this week in, and because I can guarantee you this will only come around once. So I'm just really trying to just stay in the moment here and enjoy this whole week and making sure that we go out and play some really good cricket come Friday. So I'm not sure about Big Bash. I know I'm in the Big Sixes BBL squad along with Moses, Saba and Starkey here in the bubble. But we'll come across that road after this Test match.
Thanks, mate.
Josh McLean.
Yeah, Nathan, I just wanted to ask, Tim Paine obviously copped a bit of criticism for the things that he said and the way he played the game. And full credit to him for owning up to that yesterday and doing what he did. What's your view on the whole sledging and gamesmanship and chatting to the opposition and what he went through?
I think Paine showed a lot of humility and a great leader to come out after a game and put his hand up and say he didn't play the game that he wanted to play. And so I know Tim Paine, playing under Tim Paine, bowling to Tim Paine is absolutely exceptional. I absolutely love him to death. And yes, he didn't have the game that he wanted or the Australian cricket team wanted him to have, but he owned that, and he will come out, Gabba, and make sure that his preparation before the Test match starts is on key. But he's been absolutely brilliant. He got thrown the captaincy job in a pretty hard circumstance, and he's absolutely owned it. And I think he's been absolutely brilliant for Australian cricket. He does provide a lot of banter behind the stumps, which is absolutely brilliant in my eyes. Did he get probably too emotional in the game? Yes, probably, but he's owned that. So I'm expecting him to come out and be no different and be as clinical as he ever has been behind the stumps, because even he said after the game there's nothing more than he hates than dropping a catch. For him to drop 3 catches behind the stumps is unheard of. So I know that he'll be doing everything in his power to be 100% ready and rearing to go come this last Test match to hopefully wrap up the series for Australia.
Andrew Wu.
Yeah, good day, Nathan. Congratulations on this week. How do you feel like, I suppose you've been going this summer, and how much of a, extra motivation, 100th Test, big game against, in a series decider to, I suppose, really hit your straps and the one that counts?
Thanks, mate. This summer's been challenging, I guess. Obviously playing against injury again. And I think they've come up with some really good plans to combat me. But to be honest with you, I've been really happy with the way I've been bowling. I've been able to create some chances, which has been really positive. I'm very happy with the way they're coming out. Some days the wheel doesn't turn around and you don't have much luck out in the middle. But I'm very happy with the way they're coming out of my hand. Very confident. So I'm very excited to get here at the Gabba, where there's going to be a little bit more bounce than probably what there was at the MCG and SCG. Definitely SCG anyway. So I'm very excited about that, and knowing that if I keep doing my job with the Australian cricket team, the luck will keep changing here and there. So I just got to stay patient and see how we go.
Yeah, and talk us through the lift that the side gets from playing at the Gabba, the history with the record, and even Tim mentioned to Ashwin while he was batting, come to the Gabba. It seems like the team's sort of got this confidence, extra confidence coming to play in Brisbane.
Oh, 100%. And yes, we do have an amazing record here at the Gabba, and we do have confidence playing here. We know how to play a really positive brand of cricket here in Brisbane. So that's exciting, but we can't rest on that. We know how talented India are, and we know how hungry they are to come out and win this series. So we need to make sure that our preparation is on key here, so we can come out and play our positive brand of cricket that we love to play here at the Brisbane. But I think there's no one in the Australian cricket team who doesn't like playing cricket at the Gabba. It's a brilliant place to play. So hopefully with the crowd restrictions, as many people that we can get there to support both teams. Hopefully more Australians than support, but it'll be an amazing test match either way. So it's going to be exciting to get back out there.
Thanks.
Another one for Dan Bredig.
Nathan, just a question about, I suppose, the way that the series is unfolded. I know Tim mentioned yesterday that one of the issues on day 5 was you didn't get the big foot mark outside off stump that you might have expected day 5 in Sydney. How do you think you've been able to, I guess, adjust to the pitches? And related to that, is John Davison going to be able to sort of have a look at you bowl through the fence or something this week in Brisbane, or are you going to be able to have some one-on-one time with him, or is the bubble make that difficult?
Bubble's pretty difficult to get anyone in, but I'm pretty sure Davo he's working with the Sydney Thunder at the moment, so I think he may be even out of Brisbane. But I'll get in contact with him anyway. Usually contact him after every test match and have a conversation. So he's still the best spin coach in my eyes to work with. So I'll touch base to really just nail down a couple of little things. But regarding the pitch, I think you've just got to be adaptable, and I think I've played enough cricket now to understand what I need to do and where we can go to, and that's the beauty of having Tim Paine and the likes of Steve Smith around the bat there as well. Obviously, they're very talented cricketers in their own right, so they're passing on a lot of knowledge from when Smithy was batting against Ashwin to Paine keeping against me. So there's a lot of conversations go around. It would have been nice to have a big foot mark, but there wasn't much traffic around the wicket outside the right-handers off stump, which is unfortunate, but that provides another challenge, and I was still able to get a bit of spin here and there out of it, but the wicket was pretty slow and just weren't able to capitalise on our chances, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. Karam. You there, Karam?
Yeah, Nathan, good morning. You're kind of a bowler who doesn't rely on any of variations. You are one of those off spinners who is on a classical mold. I mean, I was speaking to Harbhajan Singh before the series, and he was very effusive in his praise of about your bowling. He praised you a lot, and he said that one of the reasons why he enjoys you is that you bowl you rely on classical off spin. Now, when you see those kind of wickets like in Sydney on the 5th day, which doesn't break, do you sometimes wonder that you should maybe develop some kind of variation, some kind of something like dusras or anything where you can, surprise the batsman when you're not getting any kind of help from the wicket, like Tim Paine said the other day?
It's a good question, mate. But I'm very confident with my stock ball and the variations that I do use that to hopefully get the job done and create a couple of chances. The wicket wasn't spinning too much, so I can't imagine if I had a deucer or if I bowled Jeff that would have went too far. The wicket was still pretty good, especially in the middle of the wicket. So it's one of those things. And to be honest with you, I'm still learning, and I will never conquer the game of cricket. So that's something that I'll be able to continue to learn 100 Test matches and beyond. So it's just one of those things. And some days you just got to say, well played to the opposition, and they played extremely well on the last day of the Sydney Test match. So, there's not much more we can do about that. We've reflected on that. We've learned about it. So our preparation is purely focused here at the Gabba, and who knows, I might bring out Jeff on day 5 if we happen to be bowling.
Is that the delivery that you mentioned ahead of the series, that the variation that you wanted to bowl in the series, that Jaffa that you mentioned?
It's still coming. It's still coming. Keep watching and you might say.
Thanks.
Thanks, Karam. I think we've got one last one here from another one from Raj.
Yeah, thanks. Nathan, you actually something in a similar vein. You kept telling throughout the series, you said you had your plans for some of the Indian batsmen. So I just wanted to ask whether have those plans come into fruition at all? Are you still working on it? Or do you have any special one coming in for the 100th Test match?
Yeah, still pretty happy with the way the plans have been coming. There's been a couple of really good competition between bat and ball. I've been really happy with that. But there's a couple of new plans that we've come up with since the last test with a few of the guys. So we're looking forward to putting that into play, especially here at Brisbane, which these plans may suit the batter, even suit the bowler even more. So looking forward to that competition. So yeah, pretty excited about the 4th test.
Thanks.
I think we got one last one from Sanjeev. Sanjeev?
Hi Nathan. Basically, like whenever you and Ashwin are playing against each other, there are always comparisons. How do you look at how he has bowled in this series, and like how he has adapted to the Australian wickets this time?
Yeah, I think Ashwin's bowled very well. I think I've always said throughout my whole career that he's a world-class bowler. He's absolutely incredible to watch. I really enjoy watching him bowl, and he definitely has adapted to coming out to Australia again. So hats off to him. So yeah, I think he's been very good, and I think our batters are going to have to keep working hard in the nets facing me to making sure that their plans that they've come up with can stay strong against Ashwin. Very talented bowler. So yeah, we're going to have to be on our game again.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Sanjeev, and thanks everyone for joining us. And congratulations to Nathan Lyon on his upcoming 100th Test match and potentially 400th Test wicket when we get underway at the Gabba on Friday. So thanks everyone again for joining, and thanks to Nathan Lyon for his time. Thank you all.
Thank you.